Hi, my name is Megan McCart, and today I'm going to be talking about the models of macro practice and give some examples in the real world. The first thing I'm going to talk about is locality development. Locality development is creating local infrastructure to help combat issues the community faces. It comes in a few forms, such as human, financial, physical, and social capital. These things may already exist in the community, and using them together helps build more capital. The example I'm going to talk about comes from Calgary, and the Homes for Heroes is a foundation that is building tiny homes for homeless veterans, while also providing additional resources such as individual counseling. According to KMOV, each village of 15 houses costs anywhere from $3.5 million to $5 million to build. Each house is 275 square feet and comes equipped with a kitchen, bathroom, and sleeping area. Although many veterans are struggling to accept the help, that isn't stopping Homes for Heroes. They plan to expand all across Canada. Not only is this story heartwarming, it's a great example of locality development. Using the lots that already exist for the homes is a great way to use physical capital. They're even building more social capital by showing appreciation for people who offered to give it all for each other. They're building trust and loyalty to their community. Homes for Heroes could also be building financial capital, and they're offering people jobs to build these houses and helping vets get back on their feet to help stimulate their economy by getting jobs and circulating their money. The next model is social planning. Social planning occurs when communities are using problem-solving skills to find solutions to community-based problems. This involves everyone in the community, from experts on the problem to everyday citizens to people in power. This can happen by passing laws and regulations to address the problem. My example for social planning comes from Louisville, Kentucky. In March 2020, 26-year-old Breonna Taylor was shot 8 times by police after they entered her home with a no-knock warrant. Taylor was an EMT and had helped many people and saved their lives before her death. Since then, Louisville Metro Council unanimously passed Breonna's law, banning no-knock warrants. This new ordinance regulates how searches are carried out, and Louisville Metro police officers will now be equipped with body cameras and must turn them on 5 minutes prior to a search and 5 minutes after the conclusion. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul also introduced the Justice for Breonna Taylor Act that would ban no-knock warrants for federal law enforcement as well. In the Justice for Breonna Taylor Act, it also doesn't allow for funding from the Justice Department for no-knock warrants. As unfortunate and tragic as this story is, it demonstrates the need for social planning. A problem, being no-knock warrants, was solved by banning them and ensuring the safety of citizens and police officers alike. Police officers, the mayor, and many citizens, including Breonna's family, particularly her mother, were involved in making this new law happen. The final model of macro practice is social action. Social action happens when people confront and aim to change the structure and function of institutions in the community. Usually the people in positions of power don't want these changes to happen. While 2020 was a year for social action, I'm here to talk about the women's rights movement. Unfortunately, Ruth Bader Ginsburg of the United States Supreme Court passed away from cancer. She was known to protect women's rights in underprotected classes. And with her passing, many people were concerned with who would fill her seat and keep those protections in place. Citizens across the nation were hoping to wait until after the 2020 presidential election for her seat to be filled, hoping that voting in a particular way would help their chances of finding someone like her. In the video clip I'm about to show, you'll see hundreds of people marching to protest the confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett and to vote for Joe Biden.
Women marched in cities across the U.S., including New York and the nation's capital, urging Americans to cast their ballots.
I would say you have to vote. Your rights are in question right now.
Many voiced opposition to President Trump's conservative Supreme Court nominee, Amy Coney Barrett, who would replace the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
She just can't get confirmed. We were really big RBG fans.
The annual Women's March started the day after President Trump's inauguration in January 2017. Trailing in the polls, the president is targeting battleground states, holding a Saturday rally in Michigan.
Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, has made a corrupt bargain in exchange for his party's nomination. He has handed control of his party over to the hardcore militant left.
And he plans to visit Wisconsin later in the day. Campaigning in Michigan Friday, Democratic challenger Joe Biden continued to blast the president's pandemic response.
You know what's really sad about all this? The president knew. He knew back in January how dangerous this virus was, and he hid it from the American people.
The former vice president is facing questions about whether he supports expanding the number of justices on the Supreme Court. Biden has promised to make his position clear in the next several days. Michael George, CBS News.
As you can see, thousands marched to show their desperation and passion to preserve Ruth Bader Ginsburg's legacy. Thank you for listening, and these are the models of macro practice.